Hi, welcome to my video on the one power up that you can use to transform your Thinkific Student Dashboard Experience. My name is Jean and this is my channel Learn with Jean. In today's video, I'm super excited to share with you a power up from Thinkific expert Rob Galvin that can really help you leverage and transform how your students interact with your course, interact with your content, and interact with your course business. I'm really excited because this new power up, which is called the Captain, is a very all-encompassing power-up. It can replace 3 existing power-ups that I've talked about and you may have seen in my previous videos, but now I'm going to talk about what they are, what its purpose is, and why it's really important to think about your Thinkific Student Dashboard Experience. So most of you, when you initially sign up for Thinkific as a student or as a creator or entrepreneur, know that there is a Thinkific default student dashboard. And the dashboard really serves a purpose for students to be able to access their course content, find out what their enrollment status is, and their account information. Now, there's nothing wrong with the default look. The default looks as you're just starting out your business or you're just interacting with the course content, and there's really not much more to the engagement beyond needing to access courses, watch videos, participate in some discussions, and that may be good when you're just starting out. But as you expand your business and you expand how you want to serve your students, you may decide that the Thinkific Student Dashboard default look doesn't really work for the needs of your students. And this is really important to always pay attention to as you grow your business, because how your students interact with your business and what they need from you as a creator will definitely change and grow over time. And it's important to continue to survey and understand what their needs are so that the Thinkific dashboard can be customized and tailored to their journey with you. And so today I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Captain Power Up, talk a little bit about the pricing, talk about the benefits of using Power Ups and whether that is something you can consider for your business or not. And then I'll go into the demo, and then after the demo I will show you what it looks like on the front end. So you'll see that I do have a pattern into how I do these videos where I give you the kind of context and the overview, and then I go into the demo, and then I give you a preview of what it looks like as a student. So let's get started. This power-up is from Thinkific expert Rob Galvin, and you can see that it's called the Captain Collection. And so the Captain is a very all-encompassing, full of templates that you can easily install and build to really amplify and enhance your Thinkific student experience. And so what I love is, if you've seen some of the other videos, there's one called Ding, there's one called the Flix, and then there's one called SideNav. Those are the ones that I've featured most often in transforming your Thinkific student experience. Now, those are great, and those are still very relevant depending on how you want your students to interact with the content and access different parts of your business. But the Captain can definitely be really helpful in replacing all those. Now, the reason why is because instead of installing 3 different power-ups to create a specialized Thinkific experience, instead of 3 different power-ups to customize your Thinkific student experience, you can use the Captain power-up to build your sections or to take the existing templates and then cut out different sections that don't work for your Thinkific student experience. And this is important because each student experience will look differently depending on the creator and the business. Some creators don't need a full customization, and some do because they have a specific learning journey, they have a specific process for which courses students need to complete before they're enrolled into other courses, and then they also have additional support such as live calls. And so every business will look differently. That is why every student dashboard may need a different need and customization. And these power-ups are priced at, I believe, $99 for one power-up. And then if you want the pass, it's like $1,200. But I'll put a link to these super power-ups in the description below. And you can also check out my interview with Rob Galvin up here and learn more about why he created them and how they can help you in your course business. But let's get started. So the Captain is pretty easy to install, so I won't go over too much about how to install because it's very easy once you sign up and follow the instructions. The challenging part is now building the different sections from the template and deciding what really serves the needs of your student experience. So if I go back to my site builder, it's pretty similar to other Powerups where you click on the add section. And so that's where if you click on add section, you will see this student dashboard. And so I'll type in student, and you can see that this is the one that I've installed and added to my Thinkific Student Dashboard. Now, once I've added this, I need to make sure I've removed any other Powerups because they will conflict with each other. But the cool thing is that once you have this, there's so much you can do. So first of all, there is a search bar, which that's something that I really like personally, because when I'm enrolled in multiple courses from a creator, instead of having to scroll through and look for my course and the category that it's in, I can search for the specific topic and then it'll run the search and automatically generate it for me. The other thing that I really love is that this student dashboard can be personalized in terms of the welcome message. So here, if I click on student dashboard tracks, there is a welcome banner. And so it is a little bit different than the other Powerups where there is a big banner image. This banner is more about personalizing the text and the style so that you can let students know this is a more personalized experience. Hey Jean, this is your new Thinkific student experience. And so here this heading is auto-populated, so when I'll show you at the end, when I'm logged into my course, it will automatically populate the name and say, welcome to your new Thinkific student experience. You can customize the text. And then you can even search like the heading, you can search for the text here. And then the cool thing is the button that is at the bottom where it says need help, the help button where you can contact support, you can just say, instead of need help, you can say support. Put in a support ticket. Put in a support ticket. And then that will be a little bit more personalized instead of just need help, because sometimes you see need help and you're like, oh, but I see need help everywhere. And put in a support ticket is more specific to say, okay, you have a question, let us know what is going on. And then the button can take them to different pages. So maybe you might build in like a Zendesk or a help desk ticketing tracking page, or you just send them to this specific Zendesk link where they can put in the support ticket. The idea is you want to, in terms of a really positive and really consistent user experiences where you have everything kind of in one place so that students don't have to log into different applications and put in a support ticket. Everything is just within your main Thinkific student dashboard. And so if that was the case, I could say another page, but if I just, instead of that would be if I wanted to send students to a support ticket link, and then I can choose, do I want it to open the same window or do I want it to open in a new window? I can choose in terms of padding, and this is something that I don't talk about enough, which I think is really important, is padding. So padding is really like the white space on the top and bottom. You can choose to decide how much white space you would like, or more white space or less white space. And then this is also really important, the theme settings in your Thinkific landing page. It's important to be consistent with that and in this Powerup so that it really matches and it's really uniform and people are seeing the same look and feel in your business. And so I love that you can customize this so that it is matching your main landing page and that students are getting the consistent experience throughout. And then what I'm going to continue on, and I won't be able to do everything on the student dashboard because it would be too long, but I'm just going to cover some key aspects and then continue, and then I'll have another video later on where you can come back and see more of how I can transform the student dashboard with this the Captain Powerup. So the next thing that I wanted to show you that replaces the other power-ups is the announcements. As you may have seen I've talked about in some previous videos. I've shared in some previous videos some of the other power-ups that have a welcome banner that is really powerful in transforming the Thinkific Student Dashboard Experience. And so you might be asking, how does this replace that power-up? It's not necessarily the same, but it is also just as effective visually, because instead of a welcome banner, you can customize the announcements like course cards so that they're very specifically tailored to say, well, these are upcoming calls, this is your knowledge base, this is your Thinkific communities. And so you make it easy to visually for your students to access what they need. And so as you can see, this is the main kind of welcome default text, and I've customized it to just say welcome to your new Thinkific student experience, and then you can have the search bar, which is great. And then this is the announcements, which I think is really helpful, like where maybe the banner may be good because you can scroll through. This is very visually obvious and appealing. So the cool thing is if I go into announcements, I can customize what it says. So I can say this will show up in the below this banner, or I can have it shown above. I like it below personally. And then I can say, instead of don't miss this, important announcements. And then the slider is similar, except that this will automatically advance. You can remove it, but I think it helps to have it automatically advance because not everyone knows to scroll through or click through. And then I have set up 3 announcements, so new offerings, upcoming coaching calls, and the knowledge base. So I've set them up here. And then I didn't have an image, but you can definitely create a banner image for each course announcement. And this would be helpful to say knowledge base, upcoming coaching calls, and or upcoming course offerings. And so or upcoming coaching calls. And the cool thing is each course card or image card, depending on what term you like to use, can be used not only to send students to a different link, the knowledge base, or the link to a calendar, but you can also send them to other courses, to send them to a community. And so I really think that this really makes a difference in the student experience visually. And so when someone is on this page, as most of us have short attention span, so it's nice to be able to scroll through and get what you need. And so you can set that up and then have images for calls, knowledge base, and upcoming courses. So that's one thing that I wanted to highlight in addition to the welcome banner that replaces the other power-up. And then the other feature that really enhances and transforms the student experience is these category tracks, and that they have these what I call progress bars or progress report. As you may have seen in the Flix power-up, you can showcase the auto resume or auto suggest, and that is very important, and that can be beneficial depending on your students. But I like this a lot more. It's more powerful in retaining students and holding them accountable, and then also for you, an instructor, to see how your students are doing. So there's analytics not only for your students, but you as the instructor. And so here it will continue to say these are all categories that are auto-populated from your Thinkific categories. So once you create them, these will just automatically populate so you don't have to worry. And then these category tracks will say learning for students who are in progress. And then if they haven't started, you could change this text to be encouraging and say, don't wait too long to start, as a way to show students, okay, you're enrolled in my membership. These are courses that you've enrolled in, and then this is where you haven't started yet. So I'm going to show you these are the courses you haven't started. And so it's an encouraging message of don't wait too long to start. And then for those that have completed, I can say review and or refresh. And then the other cool thing I wanted to mention is that you can, when you're testing this out, you can say, I'm not ready to release all the courses. And so in this order, you can say, oh, I want these courses to show up in this order. You can also exclude some categories because you're not ready to release this new series of courses. And so that's where you can customize what shows up on this page. So that's why I like this a lot more than the Flix and the Ding, because it really combines those two into one. And then instead of a side navigation, your whole navigation is focused on this page in terms of the categories your learning content is structured in, and then also important announcements. And then you can also, last but not least, I really wanted to highlight is the communities. As I've said before, Thinkific Communities is a kind of growing product and offering and feature within Thinkific platform. And this gives you a lot more autonomy to structure the way the communities look. And so you can showcase, instead of just one community, you can showcase all the communities. The default is my communities, just say connect with your fellow students. And so this whole page has so many options for personalization that can really make your students feel like they're not just a student in a course, but they're a student in a community. And connect with your fellow students, so it'll show up here. So my communities, and I can just add a hyphen so that it breaks it up a little bit, and say connect with your fellow students. And then they will show the communities that the students are enrolled in, and show you how many posts so that they can see where they've left off or not left off in the course. And then you can also highlight and customize the look and feel so that the way this is displayed matches the rest of the page. And then you can customize the announcements. And the most important thing is when you're working and customizing and tweaking this student dashboard is to always click on save so that your progress and changes are being saved. So now I've given you a brief overview of how you can transform your Thinkific student dashboard using the Captain full page templates, where you can focus on the announcements, you can focus on the communities and the courses that are displayed so that you can make your membership and or student experience a lot more powerful, a lot more engaging. So I've given you a quick walkthrough, and now I want to show you what it looks like as a student in this course. So I'm going to log out and show you what it looks like. Okay, so now as you see, I am logged into my Thinkific site, and this is the student dashboard experience. And so this is what I've shown you that I've set up earlier, and this is what my new student dashboard looks like. Instead of just the traditional course player, I've transformed it to say, Jean, welcome to your new student experience. I can even say your student, I can even remove this if I want, but that's just to show you there is a default auto text, and when you preview it, it's really important to preview so you can get a sense for what it looks like. So so I've customized the banner. You have your search bar, and then these are the important announcements, and they'll auto advance after 5 seconds, but you can customize that to be less or more depending on what you think students prefer. But this is cool. Instead of the traditional banner, which you may have seen in other power-ups, this new announcement styles is much more effective visually and to focus laser-eyed on what the important announcements are. And then the cool thing, as you can see, I've customized the text to say, with my name, to say continue learning. This is the progress in some of the courses I've started, and then these are the courses that I haven't started to let me know, okay, so I've started a few courses, but I still have this to do. And then it'll show me based on the categories that I've set up in my Thinkific portal in terms of how I've organized course content, what my progress report looks like. And so the style and text can be all customized so that it's uniform with the rest of your Thinkific business. And then this is what I've done with the communities text to personalize it a little more. So as you can see, this is not your traditional Thinkific student dashboard experience. It's very much customized to someone who is in a membership experience, who needs to access their course content, access announcements, but also access their community, so that this is my one-stop shop for all my Thinkific student and Thinkific learning needs. So I hope this video was helpful. Leave me a comment, leave me any feedback, any questions, and please come back next week, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about I'm going to show you more with this power up and how you can take your student dashboard experience even further. And thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all soon.